And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. As you all know, the Arabian Gulf is home to a unique and diverse marine ecosystem, one that plays a vital role in our environment, economy, and cultural heritage. Understanding and protecting this rich marine life requires dedicated scientific research and continuous environmental awareness to shed light on the current state of Kuwait's marine environment and challenges that faces and the importance of preserving its biodiversity for future generations. We are here at Good Morning Kuwait pleased to welcome Dr. Arafat الشعيبي, Associate Professor at the Department of Earth and Environmental Sciences at the College of Science, Kuwait University. Now, I do want to thank you for joining us here at the Good Morning Kuwait.
Hello, Abdullah. Thank you for having me.
Now, thank you. You know, from your perspective as a marine scientist, how do you describe the current state of Kuwait, I would say marine life, biodiversity, and everything?
Let me elaborate on the Kuwait ecosystem in general. Kuwait is very interesting in its ecosystem, marine ecosystem, because if you go to the north, it is totally different from the south. And even Kuwait Bay itself has its own ecosystem. What influenced the marine ecosystem in Kuwait is the following. We receive a lot of river influxes from the Tigris, Euphrates, and Karun rivers in the north. And this will bring a lot of siliciclastic and the clay sediments deposited almost halfway over the coastline of Kuwait, let's say up to Failaka Island. And beyond Failaka Island, if you go to the south, you have this clear blue colored water. Now, Kuwait Bay itself receives a lot of mud influxes because of the circulation of the tidal currents. And this by itself has its own unique criteria and impact on the marine life ecosystem.
It is.
And I have noticed a decrease in biodiversity over the years. Especially in 2025, I have been working with co-authors from north to south, including the islands. And we've collected a lot of seashells, and we made a book about it. We'll talk about it later on. And we have really observed, in general, a decrease in biodiversity.
Oh, mashallah. Now, I know this is outside of the topics that we've had, but is there a reason why we've seen decrease in biodiversity during the recent years?
Well, inshallah, you will live long, Abdullah.
Inshallah.
So I lived in a way that I have observed these changes since I was a young age. Let's say I became interested in marine life since I was in high school.
MashaAllah.
And we used to go to the sea, and so. And we have observed along the coastline that there are some species that do not exist anymore.
Oh,
and this will tell you that the biodiversity really decreased.
It is, and that's always unfortunate to hear, because honestly, sea life is for me the better life. I have a diving license, so being underwater and seeing those creatures is always such an experience. Now, speaking about these creatures, what are some fascinating marine creatures, some lesser known species that live under the sea you'd like to talk about?
When you talk about the ecosystem in general in Kuwait, I consider shells and marine life, they have a lifestyle. Huh? It depends on the substrate they live in. Some prefer muddy substrate or a mixture of sand and mud. Others prefer clear water, and so forth and so on. There is one interesting species. I'm lucky that I brought it with me today, and I'll tell you its name. This one here, right there.
MashaAllah.
I think you have not seen this before, right?
No.
This is called Placona placenta. That's the scientific name of it.
MashaAllah.
Just like saying Arafat Alshuaibi. So they do have
they
their
have
own
names.
family and, and the phylum and the whole taxonomy. This species found only in the northern part of Kuwait. You cannot find it in the middle or in the southern part of Kuwait. It's a kind of clam, by the way. It belongs to the bivalves. And it lives and prefers the muddy environments. So you find this near Warba on Bubiyan Island only.
Oh, mashallah.
Yeah. and it is safe over there because the Bovian and Morba Island are protected from the government.
And
That's
mashallah,
why it flourishes a lot, and it is used in the accessories, by the way.
I mean, it just
Yeah.
looks beautiful.
It is shiny, ready to make any accessories. Yeah.
And it looks so delicate. Like, no, I can't. I'm too afraid to
You don't want to
break
touch
it.
it, yeah.
Because when you got it out of the bag, I was like, oh, that looks like it can snap at any second.
Yeah.
It looks so delicate and
It
fragile.
is delicate,
but
but
mashallah,
it's
so
very
beautiful.
useful economic-wise.
It is.
Yeah.
Mashallah. You know, I'm so glad you brought, you know, these kind of examples here on Good Morning Kuwait.
Mhm.
Now, speaking about coral reefs, they are often described as the rainforests of the sea. Now, how important would you say the coral reefs here in Kuwait, and what are a lot of the threats that face it here locally?
Okay. You said you dive,
Yes.
right? Scuba diving. I do as well.
Mashallah.
I have made a documentary movie about Garo Island. When you talk about corals, I consider them as the paradise of the sea. Corals will bring life, and you will see enormous amount of species surrounding the corals. And corals also indicate a healthy ecosystem or a healthy marine ecosystem. But they are so sensitive at the same time to any climatic change or a human impact. And we do have to really protect the corals as much as we can. Unfortunately, if you go to the southern part of Kuwait and you dive in the three main islands, Kubar, Garo, and Maradim, the one that is still healthy is Garo compared to Kubar and Maradim. They are under a lot of stress from the divers, from anchoring, from the, let's say, unregulated recreational activities over there. And each one of us should feel the responsibility in giving the chance for these corals because they take thousands and thousands of years to grow. And we do have to really be concerned about them.
It is. And mashallah, I remember diving once in, I believe it was called Sharm el-Sheikh.
Sharm el-Sheikh.
Yeah, so like I said, absolutely paradise on earth,
Absolutely.
these coral reefs,
Mhm.
you know, and like I said, we have to treasure them, which brings me to my next question is that, you know, marine pollution is a very important topic and needs to be discussed. And, you know, when it comes to pollution here in Kuwait, especially when it comes to our ocean, our sea, our deep sea, you know, what are, would you say, a lot of the factors that are contributing to these pollutions here locally?
Thank you for asking this question, and I hope the viewers will not be mad at me. The main cause of pollution is mankind, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Because pollution as a term is related to something artificial. The main cause is what we call in science the anthropogenic impact, which is human kind impact. I'll give you some examples. Oil industry along the coastline, and also dumping the municipal sewage into the marine ecosystem. I'll give you an example if you, in Kuwait Bay. The municipal water, which is treated water, yes, but when you dump it in the ocean or in the sea, you will have the chance for the increase of organic matter in the sea. When you increase the organic matter, you will have the chance to decrease the oxygen in marine environment, which is the so-called anoxia. And basically, when you reduce the oxygen, or what we call oxygen deficiency, you will cause the fish kill. Fish kill could be caused either naturally or artificially. The other main reason is we can increase the temperature of seawater artificially, and this will also lead to the death of a lot of marine invertebrates or marine animals in general. If you go to the beach after the weekend, or after people when they leave the beach,
It's
just notice what's going on.
Yeah.
The solid waste products such as plastic, and even worse is the microplastic. The problem with the microplastic and plastic in general, it's non-degradable material. And the microplastics will have the chance to get into the gills of the fish, and they will breathe it, and they will die. Oh. This applies to other marine animals in general. So again, we are the main cause of the pollution.
It is, and honestly, I've read someplace about microplastic in fish, is that because it's so minuscule, it's so, you know, small in scale, people are eating fish that have microplastic and they are getting diseases from it.
Absolutely. There are studies that indicates cancer. Oh. It will cause cancer to a human being.
Yeah.
What to do is try to educate ourselves.
It is. I think that's a very important message to send out to people, is to be more aware of the danger. Even if you are going out for a weekend to have fun, these are stuff you need to think about for the future of, say, you know, all of us. Now, it also leads me to my next question, is when it comes to climate change. You know, how is it affecting the biodiversity, especially here in the Arabian Gulf, and the, you know, reproduction and the ecosystem that we have here?
When you think about this space or the area of the Arabian Gulf in general, it is limited, as if it is closed. The circulation of water is slow, and we do notice again the impact of the natural phenomenon versus the artificial ones. We know that we have a greenhouse effect, for example. If you increase the water temperature or change the water parameters such as the pH, salinity, and the water chemistry, including temperature, just a minor change, okay, can really have a great impact on marine life in general. You can even lead to have parasites and diseases in the marine environment. Okay, I'll give you, if the climate is still suffering from the greenhouse effect, and it is happening already, it means the temperature of seawater will increase, evaporation rate will increase, so sea level will drop. And when sea level drop, the marine life will try to migrate. So we will have again lack of resources because of the climate change. It's a very complex problem.
Yes.
How to solve it? You never know.
That's it. And you know, this is also outside the scope of our question. Do you think we're now, when it comes to marine health and marine ecosystem, at a point of no return, but we should strive for making it better, or are all of these damages something we can, you know, help navigate?
The research is a major, let's say, fact. Educating people is another fact.
Yes.
And education starts from home, tell you the truth.
Yes.
From the family. If you raise generations on how to protect the environment, and not only that, even the Ministry of Education, if they dedicate in their curriculum a book related to how to preserve and protect the environment, I think on the long run we will have a better problem solvers.
Inshallah.
In general.
Yeah.
So it will be automated. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just when it's going to start, that's the question.
No, inshallah, and I think, you know, the start of awareness always starts with people like you who come on stages to give those awareness messages. Now, speaking about future generations, when it comes to a lot of young viewers, a lot of young, you know, students who are very interested in, you know, the marine life, they want to pursue fields to study within this kind of, you know, medium. What would you say is some of the research, you know, departments, some of the sectors or some of the research, you know, analysis sections they can go that have, you know, potential for future, you know, benefits and stuff?
In Kuwait University, we have a Department of Marine Sciences, for example, with PhD holders in marine science. Also, we have the Kuwait Institute for Scientific Research, who's doing a lot of work. We do have the EPA, Environmental Public Authority, which sets a lot of regulations and bylaws to control the, let's say, the pollution, and they do a lot of studies. Me, myself, I'm interested in marine science, and I do have some publications related to how to protect and save the marine life in general. So also we need to collaborate with international agencies who are concerned in marine environment. We do have to do contracts, and we have to monitor the marine environment, let's say on a monthly basis.
Yeah.
And we have to publish the results, not to keep it classified. Because I know that a lot of results are classified, and that's not a proper way of delivering science and knowledge. You cannot hide the information. Okay, announce it, let the people know that we are jeopardizing the marine ecosystem. Otherwise, the whole status will be the same. It will even get worse in the future.
I mean, hopefully we don't get to that point. So it leads me to my final question, is that, you know, with your hopes and aspirations, what do you hope that the conservation, you know, life here for marine in Kuwait happens, and the role that community plays, and as well as any last words you'd like to give to the audience who are listening?
Okay, let me give you an example of something probably that will derive people to be interested in or protecting marine life.
Yeah.
I've published a book with co-authors. Can I show it to the
Yeah, of
audience?
course.
Okay, that book is called A Guide to Common Marine Mollusks of Kuwait. This book took about 7 years.
Oh, mashallah.
And it is related to taxonomy of seashells in Kuwait. I'll open a few pages.
Yeah, of course I can.
Okay.
I can help you with that.
Okay.
That's fine. You can just hold it.
I'll
like this.
open just a few pages just to show you the beauty of these seashells in Kuwait. All of this
is in
all of this
within
in Kuwait. Let me show you one that I like the most. Okay.
You have your favorites.
Yeah, I have a preference in these, which is this one here.
Oh, mashallah.
Okay. Even the previous page is way much better.
They are so colorful.
Look at
mashallah.
that.
Yeah.
Okay. Once you think about that, and you go and see them in their natural place,
They look absolutely stunning.
they are really, really stunning. It's just a matter of go there and enjoy what you see.
Yeah.
So from my side, I'm trying. In addition to this book, I have made the documentary films, as I told you before. And once you think about the marine ecosystem as if it is your soul, keep it healthy.
Yeah.
Correct. Think about it as if it's your home. Maintain it. Protect it. You don't like to live in a polluted environment or a place. Plus, your soul, you need it to be healthy all the time.
Right.
Without this health, it is useless. The same applies to marine environment. If it is not healthy because of us, we will just ruin it over time.
Yeah.
So also we have to work hard and collaborate with each other to enforce the bylaws from the EPA. The bylaws are there, but they are not implemented that much.
Yes.
And I believe in the system of punishment and reward.
Yes.
At the same time, let's make summer camps and winter camps just dedicated to maintaining and sustaining the marine ecosystem. We need the marine ecosystem.
Yes.
Correct? So in order to protect it, we have to work very hard together and collaborate. As students, you can start from elementary school, high school, you know, and Kuwait University, up to the PhD level. And I really urge even the private sector to dedicate a program just for the marine ecosystem in this country. In this way, hopefully in the future, we will have better conservation and preservation.
I mean, hopefully,
for the marine
inshallah,
ecosystem.
because it's a group effort, right? And for
Right.
a lot of people who don't really keep in mind the importance of marine life. You know, they keep forgetting that it's an ecosystem, and most of our planet is made up of the ocean. So keeping that healthy, keeping that secure, keeping that, you know, at the most absolute peaks reflects greatly on how we live our lives. With that being said, I do want to thank you for coming here, taking the time out of your day for being our guest. You know, it has been great and a very, very much privileged, you know, position to talk to you, be aware of all these issues. So thank you very much.
Thank you for having me again, and I hope I was light on the viewers.
No, honestly, it has been a great conversation. I wish we had more time, but unfortunately, you know, I've gotten the message from the big bosses. Yeah. So I do want to thank you very much once again, but also most importantly, thank you to the viewers. Of course, our appreciation goes to our guest, Dr. Arafat Alshuaibi, Associate Professor at the Department of Earth and Environmental Sciences at the College of Science in Kuwait University. Now, moving on from this wonderful interview, we go to our reports, where great leaders are not shaped by circumstances alone, but by years of experience, vision, and service. Along the path to leadership, diplomacy often becomes a school of wisdom, teaching the art of dialogue, building bridges between nations, and transforming challenges into opportunities. Before assuming the position of Crown Prince, His Highness Sheikh Sabah Khalid Al-Hamad Sabah built a distinguished career in diplomacy and public service, contributing to Kuwait's presence on the regional and international stage. Through a lot of decades of engagement in political and diplomatic affairs, he gained experience and insight that would help shape a leader prepared for the responsibilities of the future. And this following report, A Statesman's Journey, How Diplomacy Made a Leader for the Future, we trace these milestones of remarkable journey. Now, how about we watch the report?